Alright, what's up guys? As you guys saw in my last video about tattoo policies, the new Air Force 2017 tattoo policy, if you haven't seen the video, the link is going to be down below. I'm going to put a link up here for you guys. Go check it out. But this video is going to be all about the new waiver policies for joining the Air Force. For those of you joining the Air Force, this is information a lot of you have been looking for a long time. The Air Force is finally reviewing some of their stuff, so you guys who might have been disqualified earlier might be able to join now. So pretty much in this video, I'm just gonna read like stuff from the article. If you guys want to read the article yourself, the link is down below. Be sure to click that link and read it all for yourself. I'm just gonna say some of the hotter topics, but there is some information in there that you might want to see. This is also the article that has the new tattoo policy. And all these articles were released on January 10th, which is today. I'm gonna try to get these videos edited and hopefully up today as well, so I can be the first one to jump on it. So the Air Force Periodic Review of Medical Ascension Standards and Advancement of Medical Capabilities prompted policy changes with respect to waivers concerning common conditions that have routinely disqualified prospective airmen from service. Eczema, asthma, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder waivers for eczema, asthma, and ADHD currently constitute the highest volume of requests from the Air Force recruiters. Additionally, current Air Force Ascension policy with respect to pre-service marijuana use is not reflective on the continuing legalization of marijuana in numerous states throughout the nation. So this comes from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, James A. Cody, and he said, "We are always looking at our policies and, when appropriate, adjusting them to ensure a broad scope of individuals are eligible to serve. These changes allow the Air Force to aggressively recruit talented and capable Americans who until now might not have been able to serve our country in uniform." Now this is like, for me, a no-brainer. It's like, man, some of these people that you have been denying for years have been, like you guys, a lot of you guys that message me all the time, you've been disqualified, but I can tell that you're passionate about it, you're gonna be a hard worker, you're gonna be a good airman, but they were like, nope, you have this one flaw, and we don't like you. You guys just felt betrayed because you wanted to serve your country, you had a passion, and they said no. Now they're finally going, you know what? You guys are probably hard workers, and we're sorry that we turned you guys down. We would like to have you guys now. So I'm finally glad that the Air Force is backtracking and realizing, hey, we've been disqualifying a lot of talented people, and let's start letting those people actually have a chance to serve. So if you guys suffer from any of these, eczema, ADHD, asthma, these changes are effective immediately, so go talk to your recruiter, and if they don't know the changes yet, be like, hey man, Air Force just released an article on January 10th that says these are effective immediately, so I can join now. Or at least you get a waiver. They gotta still do the waiver process, but it's gonna be easier to get a waiver for those conditions. So as far as eczema goes, it says select candidates medically classified as having mild forms of eczema will be processed for a waiver. Certain occupational restrictions may be applied to secure personnel and mission safety. So if you have eczema, now you can get a waiver for it if you have a mild form of eczema, but there is going to be some jobs that are cut off of your list. Now, ADHD, candidates who do not meet the standard of never having taken more than a single daily dosage of medication or not having been prescribed medication for their condition for more than 24 cumulative months after the age of 14 will be processed for a waiver if they have demonstrated at least 15 months of performance stability, academic and vocational, off medication immediately preceding enlistment or enrollment. They continue to meet remaining criteria as outlined in Defense Department Instructions 6130.03. Now I have no idea what is in the DDI 6130.03. So from my understanding, it makes it sound like if you have been off medication for ADHD for 15 months or more, you are going to now be qualified for a waiver, and it doesn't matter if you took it for 6 years or 5 years, since you were 14. So before, the rules were you couldn't have taken it at all, or 24 months total since you were the age of 14. Now all it says is as long as you've gone 15 months without medication and shown performance stability, then you may qualify and you are able to get a waiver. So that is something that a lot of people need to know. It's saying 15 months of off medication. I think before people used to say it was 12 months. But right here they're saying 15 months. From what I can understand, it says it doesn't really matter if you've taken it more than 24 months, because that used to be the old rule. But now they're overstepping that rule with the 15 months total. Sorry if I repeated that a bunch in trying to make sense in my head too. All right, for asthma, this one is huge. This one is amazing because I get so many questions about asthma, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea because I don't have asthma and I never went through it. But now the Air Force is releasing this information for us, so let's take a look. Asthma, the Air Force will use the methacholine challenge test to provide an objective measure of candidates with an ambiguous or uncertain history of asthma. Candidates who successfully pass this test will be processed for a waiver. I'm gonna look up what the methacholine challenge test is right now, just so I can tell you guys and not feel stupid making this video and not informing you. So I'll be right back. All right, so I just looked it up, and it's called a bronchial challenge test also. And basically they hook you up to this tube thing, you put it in your mouth, you breathe in, and it puts like something in the air, and it'll tighten your lungs if you do have asthma, and it'll restrict your breathing. So they'll calculate how much your breathing is getting restricted. But pro tip, when I was reading the information about it, it said do not have caffeine. So if you are going to MEPS, or a few days or weeks before, do not drink coffee, any soda, don't drink energy drinks. Stop drinking energy drinks. I know, like, I've had a few in the last few months because I was on mid-shift, and they're terrible for you. Like, energy drinks are so bad for you. And up until I was on mids, I hadn't had an energy drink in years. But now I don't drink them anymore now that I'm off. So I know I'm not a good example, but just avoid energy drinks altogether because there's no really health benefits to them. But don't have things with caffeine at all before you go and take this test at MEPS, because it can give you false readings and it may cause you to fail. Even if you're like borderline going to pass, if you have caffeine, it could just make you fail altogether. So don't risk it. Don't drink soda, energy drinks, coffee, anything with caffeine in it. Just avoid it the day before or the day of you going to MEPS to take these tests. But the Air Force is now allowing you, if you can pass a certain rating on this test, on the methacholine test, challenge test, or the bronchial challenge test, if you guys can pass those with a certain rating, you guys are going to be a-okay and good to join as long as they get that waiver approved for you. The pre-marijuana usage. The revised policy will remove the service prescribed numerical limitation on prior use of marijuana when determining ascension qualifications. In accordance with DoD standards, a medical diagnosis of substance-related disorders or addiction remains medically disqualifying for service. Additionally, any legal proceedings associated with pre-service use will continue to be reviewed and may be disqualifying depending on nature of the offense. The Air Force will remain a strict no-use policy, as applicant and listee will be disqualified for service if they use the drug after the initial entrance interview. So basically what they're saying is, if you are in the Air Force right now, you are not allowed to smoke Mary Jane. And if you are trying to join and you are already depped in, you are not allowed to smoke the reefer. But if you haven't joined yet, you can go ahead and smoke because they eliminated the usage limitation that they had before. So before, if you went and you were like, oh, I smoked like 10 times. I don't know what the number that they cut off said. The number was like 5 times in your life. So you say, I smoked marijuana 10 times. And they're like, nope, sorry, disqualified. And you were like, wait, what? That was like 10 times over the last 10 years. But they don't care because there was a usage limitation. So now they're eliminating the usage limitation. And now they're saying you can possibly join with a waiver even if you have a legal history or a court record with a marijuana charge. But depending on what the charge was. So if it is possession, you might be able to get away with a waiver and still join the Air Force, even though you got in trouble for possession prior to joining. I think they'll come out, hopefully, at some point and make this a little more detailed, or if you guys understood it perfectly. But if you guys want to read it for yourselves, again, the link is down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up for the new Air Force policies for waivers joining. That means a lot of you guys that have been disqualified, for me, I believe wrongly disqualified, because some of you guys might be some of the hardest workers the Air Force could ever have, but they were turning you down. Don't get lazy. Don't get lazy on them. Show them that you were worth that policy change. So I'm excited to see how many people this helps. and how many of you guys this helps. So again, be sure to smash the thumbs up button. It's down here. Hit it. Hit subscribe while you're down there. Check out my social media and the links down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.